Welcome everyone, I'm Jordan Sharp. The NFL offseason is closing in on training camp as we're only a few weeks away from the kickoff of that, and of course after that only a few weeks removed from the preseason. It's time to start taking a look at some more of our season award prop betting picks here. Even though there's no odds out for the AP Offensive Player of the Year, we can still speculate on guys that might have the ability to win the award. Of course, last year Peyton Manning won both the MVP and the AP Offensive Player of the Year award. That's the third time in 4 years that the Offensive Player of the Year has also been the MVP. But before that, it was kind of viewed as a runner-up award to the MVP. But over the last 4 years, it's really been the same type of player. But a quarterback has won the award in 5 of the last 7 years. And I have a couple of picks here, mostly quarterbacks that have a chance, I think, to win it again this year. I think your two favorites are obviously Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. They're the only two guys on this list that have won the award multiple times. Of course, Peyton Manning won his second last year and his first back in 2004, where Drew Brees, of course, has won 2 as well, most recently back, I believe, 2 years ago. But these two guys will probably be right up there for the MVP award as well. One of them quite possibly could lose out the MVP to the other and become the Offensive Player of the Year. But either way, Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, one of the two is probably going to challenge or win this award coming up this season. Now, guys that could potentially challenge those two, I think you have to look at Aaron Rodgers as a potential guy to come in and steal this award from one of those two. I've been very high on Rodgers and the Packers all season. As you know, as you've seen some of my other NFL offseason picks, I have him as a very good MVP play, and the Packers as a very good future odds play as well. So Aaron Rodgers could be due for a bounce-back season if indeed he can stay healthy this season. The Packers offense is going to do a lot of good things this year behind Aaron Rodgers, and before he got hurt, he was well on pace to potentially challenge some of those guys for the passing yards title, which I think is another prop that he could potentially win this year and beat out Manning and Brees. And the final guy on my list is a running back, and as I said, running back's not necessarily a huge value in this play, but Marshall Faulk, of course, is a 3-time winner of this award, and a guy that's been compared to him, and potentially a guy that could have the workload enough to beat out some of these quarterbacks this year, is LaShawn McCoy, who absolutely had a bang-up year a year ago with the Eagles. Was one of the main reasons why they made the playoffs, and I think the Eagles are due for a slight regression this season on offense. But McCoy, if he can carry them and continue back to get this team a 10-win football team, you could absolutely see him in the running for MVP as well as Offensive Player of the Year. It's probably going to take well over 2,000 all-purpose yards, probably closer to 2,500 all-purpose yards to win this award and beat out these 3 really huge quarterbacks. However, McCoy absolutely has the ability to do it. He's going to get the workload to allow him to do it. If he stays healthy, this young man has the ability to win the MVP and definitely the Offensive Player of the Year award. But that'll do it for your Offensive Player of the Year. Make sure you check out my Defensive Player of the Year picks as well this season. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp, and this has been another edition of the Sharp Pick.